Hello, I'm Dave Peach, and this is the Crawfordsville Peachcast, sponsored by Tri-County Bank, your community bank since 1892. See them in person or at tricountybank.net. Tri-County Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Crawfordsville Peachcast, I'm Dave Peach, and I'm joined by
Dave Meyer.
Dave, I'm going to try to relax. I don't know why I get a little nervous. We're doing the podcast.
Yeah,
I mean, we could stop the podcast. We could get Chinese food. I mean, we could do anything while we're doing this podcast, right?
We have just unlimited options between culinary and content.
Now, we are presented by Tri-County Bank, your community bank since 1892. They have sponsored the Crawfordsville Peachcast for over 2 years now.
A very good friend of the show.
We did go past the 2-year mark. We've gone past the 100 episode mark, and our friend from Central Indiana Rubber has listened to all of them. And let's say hello. 1, 2, 3. Hello, Todd.
Yeah, baby.
And again,
that was a good one, Dave.
Power for you, Central Indiana Rubber. We talk about the and one thing I've noticed as we start the Zoom call.
Yes, Dave.
And we go, we have a lot of good material.
We're jacked up at that beginning, Dave.
And then unfortunately we start the podcast.
And then we become ourselves, Dave.
Well, that joke, it worked better in rehearsal. I think I had the wording different in rehearsal. Anyway, but it's kind of one of those
Dave.
jokes. Yeah. All the good material. Then we start the podcast. Yeah. Anyway, this is the 2024 Toastie Selection Show. And with that, folks, we'll now go into segment 1 in earnest. The Toastie Selection Show. We have done, in the following episode, we will have Avalanche. We'll have Avalanche, which is our 28th movie. We've done 27 movies.
That's a lot of movies.
That is a lot of movies. You realize, and the thing of it is, not only do we watch these movies, but we take notes while we're watching the movie.
We actually are diligent about our deliberate processing of trying to share what these particular flicks are about, Dave, in our own little way.
When I'm at home and I'm watching one of these movies.
Are you alone normally? Are you?
Yeah, I'm alone.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to be alone. And then as I'm taking notes while I'm watching a movie like, Dirty Work.
Okay.
I kind of have this fantasy in my head that the authorities are going to come bursting in and they're going to say, "Sir, you know there are cold, hungry people out there." Sorry, my voice cracked there. "Sir, there are cold, hungry people out in the world, and you're sitting here watching Dirty Work, taking notes for a podcast."
Absolutely.
They are cold and hungry. There are people out here, they are cold and hungry, okay?
They're going to stand you up, turn you around, and say, "Do you realize, while you're doing this,
do you understand?
Are you okay? And now are you going to continue, Mr. Peach?"
I am going to waller in my Meyer.
What do you have
spelled
to say
differently
about,
than Dave Meyer?
Yes, Almost Heroes. Or what about Nothing in Common?
Almost Heroes.
You gave me bad counsel on FM.
My. We started in May of 2023 with FM.
That was we were so simple, Dave.
Yeah, we were back in 2023. We had fewer problems. I mean, the world was a much brighter place in May of 2023. I remember that.
Well, I think it was brilliant to start a radio-themed podcast about movies about radio, of course, and then we expanded it quickly.
Yeah, 27 movies, and today we're going to go over the Toastie Awards and just
people are excited, Dave. A lot of press buzz, I hear. About the Toasties.
Oh yeah, we've been out on the circuit. We've been on Access Peoria. I remember that.
Right.
Remember we did that interview. Yeah.
They have the Almost Entertainment Tonight theme song. It goes da 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 Duh. So it
Yeah.
just they didn't get sued, which was smart of them.
Some of the movies, some of the categories: best movie, worst movie, best
Mm-hmm.
soundtrack, tutor of the year, best
Right.
Godfather 1 and 2 alum, best
Okay.
disaster movie. Those are some of them, and I can't wait. We're going to break it down. This is going to be kind of like the behind the scenes look at how the Toasties are going to be put together. Next time we'll have the Toasties. We'll announce the winners of the Toasties, and we will talk about the movie Avalanche with Rock Hudson. And let me tell you, of all the movies we've done,
Yes.
this one could be the worst. Now, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about that. That's next time on the Crawfordsville Peachcast. We'll take a break and be back with Toastie Talk right here on the Crawfordsville Peachcast.
Are you looking for great prices? Do you have a smartphone? Of course you do. This is Bria French. With Tri-County Bank's Merchant Discount Network, you can get discounts on food, entertainment, tools, and so much more. All you need is a smartphone and your TCB Smart Rewards checking account. Cost savings are only a click away. Terms and conditions may apply. Tri-County Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Crawfordsville Peachcast. We're talking about the 2024 Toasties with Dave Meyer. Dave, 27 movies, as we mentioned. It started with FM. It ended with movie number 27, which was Some Kind of Wonderful in Between. We laughed, we cried, we wasted a whole lot of time.
We did, Dave. I mean, how many people have seen both Hot Rod and The Great Buck Howard, right? Like maybe 10, maybe 100. I don't know. But we have, right? How many people can say, do you know about the CBS production of Cinderella with Leslie Ann Warren? Who was the prince, Dave?
Stuart Damon.
Stuart Damon. See, this is the kind of
Walter
practical
Pigeon was the king.
Walter Pigeon was the king, folks.
The lady, it wasn't the late Ginger Rogers was in that movie.
Ginger Rogers, and she had like the little effects. She was the fairy godmother.
Yeah,
right?
I mean the special effects for that alone are worth watching.
Thunderbirds, of course, you were bringing that back, and the culture has followed, right? As
not a movie, but a brilliant TV show that, again, somebody out there bought the rights to, and they said, hey, it's an underappreciated show. Thunderbirds is actually really good, but some of these movies were not.
And we did. I would say there are some definite movies of some critical acclaim that we've seen, and we'll talk about those, along with the majority that have more interesting esteem that we try to pick apart.
Okay, now, as we mentioned, we started with FM. Should I name them all, or is that too? I mean, if somebody's out there and they really wanted to,
I think you could walk through them pretty quickly.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. We had FM, Vision Quest, One Crazy Summer, The Wild One, Hot Rod, Facing Ali, When Time Ran Out, Almost Heroes, Invasion of Astro Monster, Club Paradise, Hooper. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Johnny Dark, Beyond Poseidon Adventure. Beyond Poseidon Adventure, Great Buck Howard, One-on-One, Everything Must Go, Dirty Work, Cinderella, The Swarm, The Candidate, The Program, Meteor, Being There, The Freshman, Nothing in Common, Some Kind of Wonderful. Coming up next episode, Avalanche, but we're only going to consider the 27 that we did previous to this episode. A
strong distinction, folks. If you were wondering whether or not Avalanche was going to be included, no Avalanche.
Maybe next year maybe. On that.
Possibly.
So
it's a good list, Dave.
Let's start out with Tutor of the Year. And there are from my. Do
you want to revisit for our listeners, Dave? Who might be in that category?
We've got Halle Berry in The Program.
Yes,
and we've got Annette O'Toole in One-on-One.
which is a good list. You've got your 70s and 80s fairly well covered there. Annette O'Toole, we talked about her. Went on to marry Michael McKean. So she's there. And, of course, Halle Berry in plenty of movies. So just one of the categories, Dave. But I think probably one of the strongest would be Best Tutor.
Best motorcycle guy.
Yeah.
Best motorcycle guy. I think the competition here is between Hot Rod and Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando and the Wild One.
Marlon and the Wild One. Now, I was trying to think, okay, in Vision Quest, his buddy, did he ride a motorcycle too? I could not recall.
I'm pretty sure that there was a motorcycle in Vision Quest.
But we're not
possibly
sure.
The program.
Yes.
Okay.
That was the other thing that I was thinking is somewhere in the program. But yeah, I think, we kind of started our motorcycle with the Wild Ones, right? So that's got to have Brando in that category. I think, Dave, that movie did somewhat either influence or put out kind of the bike, the motorcycle gang kind of bike attire that Brando and all those folks were wearing too. So definitely part of our cultural thing to look at all these with the best motorcycle guy.
And another category, we've got best soundtrack.
Okay, some good ones. Vision Quest comes to mind again there. Some Kind of Wonderful we just did. One-on-One, Seals and Crofts, right? And a lot of others. Even, probably I'm trying to recall. I know Tammy Wynette has a nice song in Hooper.
Yes.
Right? So we've got some good options there among our possible nominees.
But only one of them had Lick the 10.
Lick.
That would have been Some Kind of Wonderful.
And Dave, you did I guess basically one actor did kind of emerge as somebody we'd seen in multiple movies, both good and bad.
Talking about Jack Warden.
We're talking Jack Warden.
Jack Warden was in two movies that we did not do, two football movies, one Brian's Song.
Oh, yes.
And the other kind of on the other end of the spectrum. Well, I guess maybe not necessarily. I guess it was, Brian's Song, a true story about a man who died. And then Heaven Can Wait, a fake story about a guy who ends up in the afterlife. I never thought of it in those terms. Yeah.
No, he worked a lot is what that was, because I think about Jack Warden. I think of like those movies. And then there's, also a lot of, he was in, what's the Paul Newman movie? The Verdict.
The Verdict.
Right. Yeah, a lot of movies. He was also, we haven't done this one, but the movie The Presidio, he plays Sean Connery's buddy. Of course, we saw our Sean Connery experience was, have we
that was
seen
Meteor.
Sean Connery?
Meteor, yes.
Meteor,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, the hair. That's what I'm remembering is Sean's hair.
And another football movie that Jack Warden was in with Gene Hackman, The Replacements.
Oh, Dave, I would say late in both of their careers.
2000. It was in 2000.
Okay, very good, very good.
Jack Warden movies in play here for the best movie with Jack Warden and the worst movie with Jack Warden. There are three. So we'll have a winner, we'll have a loser, we'll have somebody that wasn't even in the mix. We got Beyond. We've got Beyond Poseidon Adventure.
Yes.
Being There,
yes.
And Dirty Work. All with Jack Warden.
I mean, it's a pretty diverse catalog that Jack was a part of. So got to give him credit there. Okay, those are some good ones.
I mean, you go from Mark Harmon to Norm Macdonald.
Yes. We quite, and somewhere along the way we saw Elvira too.
Yes,
So
and that one comes into play for me in movies that I would put that in the category, at least nominated for movie we're happy we will never watch again.
I tend to concur on that one. I mean, some of them may have been worse. That one was maybe the hardest to watch. I don't know, but we don't want to give up too much, Dave, as we're still in the pre-toasties or the toasty nominee part of the toasties.
I would have to throw in, as I look at the list, in that one, I got to put, I think a very strong contender would be Club Paradise.
Ooh, that's got to be among the Robin Williams offerings. And I think that very early in his career when he had not yet nailed, I think that was somewhere after Popeye and Moscow on the Hudson and those, and before Good Morning Vietnam, he laid the egg with Peter O'Toole called Club Paradise.
Let me describe Club Paradise here real quick. In the morning when you think, I'll do some dishes. I'll go to the kitchen and do some dishes. And you've got that dish rag from the previous night that's still kind of soggy from the night before.
Yeah.
Well, when you pick up that dish rag, you've got the same amount of chemistry that Robin Williams had with Twiggy.
Oh, yes. Oh, my, Dave. Yeah.
In fact, you might care a little bit more about that dish rag than they appeared to care for each other.
Cold and limp is what we had.
That was not good. I'm sorry.
Not good, sir.
And at that point, when I do something like that, Dave,
yes,
it's kind of like that episode of Hawaii Five-0 when they
which one?
When they brought in Steve McGarrett on murder charges. Okay. So the DA who works with Steve McGarrett on a daily basis is now prosecuting Steve McGarrett.
Our guy.
So whoever the prosecutor was at one point in the trial, he just absolutely just knocked one out of the park. And, Steve McGarrett, he's going to go to prison for 50 years. And he took the moment, he looked at Steve McGarrett, Jack Lord, he said, "I'm sorry, Jack, I had to do that." So that's kind of the one I'm feeling right now. Even though, it pains me, I still have to do those things every once in a while.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, audience. I'm sorry that you had to hear that. How about movie that we would love to do again?
Ooh.
And we might.
Good. Yes. There's a few definitely in that. One of the movies we did kind of, I want to say in the middle of the pack, and I've been familiar but not really watched, was Everything Must Go with Will Ferrell in one of Will Ferrell's non-comedic roles.
I would put also Being There in that category.
Yes. Yeah.
There was so much to that movie that I think we could do it again. There's some movies that were good. I don't know if we need to do them again. So that's kind of a different category than, best movie or worst movie. Let's go with actresses. Best actress. Who are you thinking there?
Okay. Not Elvira. Let's start there.
No, she is not there.
We had there's a pretty broad list among the movies. Among the movies that are probably the better that we have seen, that's where it's a little harder. I'm struggling with that right now. Who is the best actress among what we've seen? You mentioned like Halle Berry, but she was kind of in a minor role. Shirley MacLaine and Being There was pretty good, but I don't know. I've
got a few.
Okay, I want to hear them.
Okay, I'm going to start out with, is it Isla Fisher?
Isla Fisher
in Hot Rod.
Okay, I like that. That's good, Dave. Isla Fisher.
Apparently, at one point, her Australian accent seeped through.
Wow.
I've got to go with astronaut astronaut's sister in Invasion of Astro Monster.
Oh, boy,
I love astronaut's sister. Emily Blunt in Buck Howard. I thought I'd put a contemporary actress in there.
That's and again, that's one of those things that I forgot, but that we did go over with that episode. Was that cast was killer, right?
You mentioned Everything Must Go. Rebecca Hall.
Yeah, yeah. Again, more contemporary, like an Emily Blunt. So, no, Dave, you are correct. There are some excellent choices.
Mary Stuart Masterson in Some Kind of Wonderful.
Yeah, and kind of, and she's kind of in an androgynous role and plays a drummer, and yeah.
Cella Ward, Nothing in Common. I would.
We're definitely commands the screen.
We're definitely thinking of the horse scene right now, but that's another. You have to go back and listen to the podcast on that one. I also liked Veronica Hamill. Beyond Poseidon Adventure.
Again, good dig, Dave. Young Veronica Hamill.
Didn't she shoot somebody in that movie or something? Or she got shot and then she ended up killing
definitely didn't. Yeah, I don't think she lived.
I know she didn't, but she, in peril, she took care of somebody there. Also got to go with, you mentioned Annette O'Toole and also Piper Laurie in Johnny Dark.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one.
And I do think the favorite, though, for me, I got to go with Sally Field in Hooper.
Ooh, okay. I'm good with that. I'm a big Sally Field fan.
And I should say also, I'm going to nominate Leslie Ann Warren in Cinderella.
I think that's appropriate.
Okay. Actor.
Okay.
Who you got for actor?
Well, my first thought would be Peter Sellers and Being There.
I think he would be the favorite.
Yeah, I mean, probably, the most, if you look at the performance, he definitely, there is the cadence. I mean, clearly it's far from Inspector Clouseau, but the way he spoke kind of defined either an American or any other accent, and almost was, if you were to fast forward, it's almost like a precursor to a very gentle AI voice.
That's a good dig. That's a good one. I've got to go with, you mentioned Will Ferrell, Everything Must Go.
Yeah, he was great in that.
We go Peter Boyle in The Candidate.
Oh yeah. We got a few Peter Boyles too, right?
I thought about Beyond Poseidon Adventure, but he was pretty one-dimensional in Poseidon.
Right.
Mad.
Yeah. Okay, what about...
He was angry.
He was angry, but who am I thinking of? Not Slim Whitman, Dave, but Slim Pickens, who is the fake sommelier.
In Beyond Poseidon Adventure?
In Beyond Poseidon Adventure.
Shoot the old guy! Shoot the old guy! One of my favorite lines. Shoot the old guy. Why?
Shoot the old guy, baby.
Why? He's probably not going to make it anyway.
Come on.
He's got a bottle of wine he's been carrying for 2 weeks. I mean, shoot the old guy. I don't understand. What were you scared of? I also got to go, some sentimental choices here. Alex Karras.
Oh, God, yes.
I got him with
Alex,
with that rooster, and when time ran out, and an FM as Doc, who got canned.
He got canned early. Yeah, he was the midday guy who just had to go.
I didn't understand the casting there. He did not really look like an LA FM
didn't sound,
DJ.
Didn't look.
He just didn't quite have it. He looked more like a amateur cockfighter trainer guy in When Time Ran Out. He looked like somebody that would do that. I hate to say that, but he did. He played his part very well. I got to also go with a little guy named Marlon Brando.
Ooh, yeah.
In The Wild One.
The Wild One, yeah, and The Freshman.
I throw in, let's see, Burt Reynolds in Hooper, Colin Hanks in The Great Buck Howard, and some some other ones that I remember. Who could forget Frank Jasper as Shoot in Vision Quest?
That's it. That was what I was looking for. Did Shoot have a motorcycle? Because he had the best hair in the movie.
Oh, and I guess during filming,
Yes.
there'd be something going on that he would do, and they go, "Oh shoot." I think that's what they did.
Oh, Dave.
And then
That's so good.
he kept reacting when the director would say, "Shoot." They go, "Yeah, what do you need? You need me for something?" "No. We're going to have to call it something else. Start filming."
Give him another name.
"Shoot. Yes. Do you need me?" A joke so good we had to say it twice. And then we educate on this show.
We try.
We educate on this show. And if you were paying attention to when time ran out, there was a man in that movie, James Franciscus, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Not Tony Francisiosa.
That's what I was just going to say.
No.
Yeah, I have it written down. Look, I have Tony Francisciosa. I mean, I definitely Mandela'd these two guys. I didn't really know that there were two different guys.
They're both medium level actors in the same kind of time frame, right?
They were both in one of them was in one of those detective shows in the late 60s.
Yes, right. It wasn't Streets of San Francisco, but it was something.
Tony Francioso and James Franciscus. Did I get those names correct?
Dave, no judges yet. We're going to say yes. Yes, Dave.
And again, we are educating. So those are my thoughts. We did soundtrack, but I forgot to at least put in the movie FM, which I'm not sure I would call it. It was a soundtrack, but when you have that many hits just kind of put onto a double album, I don't know if you could really call it a soundtrack.
Yeah, it was basically all the songs that were played during, there's most of the movie takes place at the radio station, and so they're playing or it's in the background, and it was basically Hot 100 FM tracks from the time, beginning with Steely Dan, right?
Well, Steely Dan was the original. That was the one original song from this movie, FM, and it kind of got me thinking of this whole kind of 27 movie odyssey. I guess starting this movie 27 Odyssey, starting on the Odyssey of starting the 27 movie Odyssey that we started on, and we are continuing to do. FM, Donald Fagen in concert at Ruoff. He said, "Hey, this is from a movie that was a real stinker."
Well, didn't hurt them. Didn't hurt Steely Dan in a bit.
No, but I'm sure that had that movie been Top Gun-esque, it would have changed their career path a little bit.
Definitely. And the guy who played the program director probably would have been in more stuff.
And, you think about Steely Dan, and this is something that I've learned as I learned between Tony Francioso and James Franciscus. I did learn that Steely Dan in rock music is an anti-hero.
Oh.
So now I've kind of applied that to several things. And when you think about being an anti-hero, what better thing to do than to produce a killer song, a perfect 10 song for a movie that was a real stinker? That's what anti-heroes do, right?
Yeah. And you know what? Think about that song in and of itself. It has kind of like an anti-vibe, Donna, the way it builds, and then it just kind of, it doesn't come at you hard. It kind of winds around you, and that song still today can be found, I'm sure, on the classic rock format.
It is still out there in their catalog. Now, we're going to do best movie, worst movie, but we're going to do that after the break here on the Crawfordsville Peachcast. Central Indiana Rubber Products provides the power for you. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, keeps farm equipment and local manufacturing processes running with gaskets, belts, seals, and O-rings, among a variety of other products and services. Employee-owned and always customer-focused. Central Indiana Rubber Products, 989 West, 83 North, Crawfordsville, and at indianarubber.com. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, power for you. Crawfordsville Peachcast Pre-Toastie show. I've had fun looking back over our 27 movie odyssey that we've been odysseying, and we started the odyssey, and the odyssey started with 27 movies, and we continue to do movies even past the 27 movie odyssey that we started.
I think we've named every movie at least 1.5 times today.
Checking the analytics. So best movie. I've got my top 5. I've got my worst 5. So I'm going to let you, and I got to stop doing that. You know, when I have somebody in the studio, a lot of times, hey, I'll let you talk about what you're doing. Well, isn't that awful nice of me to do? That's just one of the most honorable things I could actually do, is to let you talk. You know, it is my honor to hear you talk, Dave, and to all of the guests out there. And I want to just publicly apologize for all those that I have let talk. I mean, you can talk whenever you want. You can walk out of the studio whenever you want. Okay,
Dave,
it's totally up to you.
I'm happy to be here.
Here we go. So let me try. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do it now. Dave, I have done my top 5, and I've done my worst 5.
Okay.
But it would warm my heart to hear you talk about movies that you would say would be at the top, would be at the top, and would be at the bottom of the list.
Well, I can tease, Dave, by giving you my worst movies to begin with.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, as forementioned, if now that we are in the third segment, right, Dave?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody's listening.
Well, nobody's.
I'm just kidding. Everybody's listening.
No,
They're waiting.
They're with us.
No.
Well, Dave, I would say the worst, and I'm saying this, of course, loving both of the leads in this movie. Okay, but the worst movie is Almost Heroes, I believe. That would be my number 1 top worst movie, with Chris Farley and Matthew Perry, and just a bad. That would be my top of the worst. One click above that, slightly, the aforementioned, again, the lead in this is maybe one of the best comedic actors of all time, certainly of his generation. But this was not his best choice of material. So Club Paradise would be second worst among those. This also goes back into our little discussion earlier, where there is a distinction between the worst movie and the movie that you really don't want to watch again, right? Because sometimes the worst movie can be somehow possibly so bad that it has some attractive or interesting qualities. But Elvira, Dave, Elvira's got to make the worst list. And, I didn't mind Elvira back in the day. She sold a lot of product. I remember seeing her in many grocery stores in cardboard, standing next to lots of beer.
You have landed all three of your movies landed in my worst 5. I got to say, I threw in one, and maybe you've got another one that you're thinking about. I liked the people that were that were in the movie. I liked it, but the movie just didn't do anything for me, and I actually just did not like myself after I watched it. God bless the dearly departed Norm Macdonald.
Oh, yeah.
but I say Dirty Work. I'm sorry. I say Dirty Work.
Because it has somewhat of a cult feeling, or at least among certain people. So I expected Dirty Work to be, in somehow a kind of a different Repo Man, if to the our movie fans out there. That's what I expected of Dirty Work, and it wasn't that, Dave.
No.
Again,
No.
not one of Norm's. Norm probably had some gambling debts at that moment.
So in Dirty Work, and I've tried to forget a little bit about the movie. It had Chris Farley in it, right?
Yes.
But Artie Lang was kind of the
Artie was the second lead for sure.
Got it. But it was Artie Lang was in there. Jack Warden was in there.
Jack Warden again, but Jack was just probably trying to fill some time calendar.
So help me out. Chris Farley, I have very few notes on that. Oh, it was the last Chris Farley movie.
Okay.
It was the last Chris. The only good thing about that movie was that Chris Farley in the bar scene. Now this is a little segment 3 behind the scenes inside baseball thing. You know my affinity for yacht rock.
Of course.
And you know that in the last couple of years, Captain Adam and I have become friends, and he'll be on the podcast coming up in May. Well, in the movie, Chris Farley at the starting point of a bar fight says, "I'm going to hit them." I forget even what song he was going to hit. I'm going to hit G7. Well, he hit G8, the wrong song, and it ended up being the Pina Colada song by Rupert Holmes as the bar fight ensues. Captain Adam used that on his show a couple of weeks ago, and he goes, "Here's a clip from Dirty Work." We love it when yacht rock gets into pop culture. So if there was out of the movie and the disappointment of watching the movie,
out of the ashes,
there is something. And I also put FM in there because if Donald Fagen says on a live mic in front of 15,000 people, it was a real stinker, I got to echo his sentiment.
Yeah. You go, okay.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear more. That man, he made money off this. He's allowed.
No static at all from me. Let's go to best movies, Dave. You landed every one of them as far as my worst 5. Let's see how you do with my top 5.
Okay. Well, I'll give you 3, Dave. I'm a 3 guy out of the 5, and you take us from there. First of all, there were movies among our better movies that we took the time to review that I was impressed by, even the ones that I didn't think were going to be that great. But I would say on the top of my best list, I'm going to go with Everything Must Go. I think it's an interesting adaptation of, I believe, a Raymond Carver story. And I think it's a movie because Will Ferrell, we know him and we have such a strong, I don't know anybody that doesn't like Will Ferrell, but we kind of look at Will Ferrell and are waiting for him to do something that we're going to laugh at. So I think as a result of that, this movie just did not get seen or heard in a way that it should have. So Everything Must Go, and it has a great supporting cast too. You mentioned the female lead, but also the folks that are also play minor roles in that it's a strong movie. So that's my top. After that, my second top would be Being There, which critically acclaimed movie, great cast: Peter Sellers, Shirley MacLaine, Jack Warden, great cast, and an interesting kind of movie. And the third of those among the best, I got to go with The Candidate. Love Robert Redford early in his this is post Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, but I think before he did The Sting, and he and Peter Boyle in a great look at politics that still has relevance today. and is interesting to look at, what we thought of politics in the 1970s. So Everything Must Go, Being There, and The Candidate are on the top of my best list.
Well, the third one did not make my top 5.
Okay.
The Candidate did not make my top 5. Being There, Everything Must Go. I am right there with you.
Okay.
I went. Do you have any more in the best category? You're a 3 guy.
Well, I will go with 2 others.
Yeah.
And these are lesser down the list, but enjoyable. One was The Great Buck Howard. I don't know what my expectations of that movie were, but they were low, and I enjoyed it. It was a fun movie. Obviously, we got to extend our fun with that by interviewing Kreskin, but that was one. And then the other, and I don't know why, but I just have this pull towards this movie, and it's Hooper. And it's not a great movie, but I think I saw it at least once, maybe twice in the theater. It was at a time when Burt was at the top of his Burtness. It just so happened he has a birthday on February 11th that he shares with other people, including me. So that's somehow Hooper rounds out my top 5.
I love that movie. We differ a little bit as far as top 5. I've got Invasion of Astro Monster.
Cool.
Which I love, the AM radio, or I should say the radio. Turn your radio up as loud as you can. I love the acting. I just love the movie. It was to me, it really, maybe I was in a very good mood when it was on, but I love that movie. Then the other 2 others, Cinderella.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because it was on in my childhood, and I have just wonderful memories of this movie. I love watching it. To me, it was just, I know it was a TV movie, I believe, but it was just marvelous. The Leslie Ann Warren one. And my 5th is Hot Rod.
Oh yeah. Good. Hot Rod surprised me. How did that not get more publicity, and or how did it not find an audience on cable somehow? I don't know.
It also had a AM radio station component with KNER. And one of the lasting memories I have of that movie is the sing-along with John Farnham, You're the Voice. That, to me, just sealed the deal and made me love Hot Rod. And I know you know who the guy is, but his dad or his stepdad or the guy that needed the heart. Who was that?
Ian. Ian. I can't recall his last name, but he was a guy that been a character actor for a long time, and it was on the HBO show Deadwood. And from that, he became somewhat more famous. And Dave, I wish I knew his last name.
We've got a lot of decisions to make before the Toasties are officially announced next episode. Toastie Fever. Fever. And we will announce the Toasties and do Avalanche. He's Dave Meyer. I'm Dave Peach. We are presented by Tri-County Bank, your community bank since 1892, and Central Indiana Rubber, power for you. 1, 2, 3. Hello.
Hello.
Todd. Thanks for listening to the Crawfordsville Peach Cast, sponsored by Tri-County Bank, your community bank since 1892. Tri-County Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Tune in Thursday for a new episode on Apple or Spotify, and please like, subscribe, and download the Crawfordsville Peach Cast. This podcast was produced and edited by Up Their Media and is a presentation of Fork Broadcasting Digital. I'm Dave Peach, inviting you to join me next week.